Hey guys, I'm Tash over here at the IGN Southeast Asia booth at Asia Comic Con 2018. And with me today, I have Kurechii Games, one of our special guests for today. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves and what you guys do in Kurechii Games?
Okay, my name is Yiwei and I'm the director.
Oh, I'm Zyrex. I'm the game artist in Kurechii.
Alright guys, so why don't you guys tell me a little bit about Kurechii Games?
So Kurechii is actually an indie game studios. We mainly focus on developing our own IPs. So our very first game is actually the King's League.
Right.
And today we want to show the sequel of it as well. So King's League has been since 2011
Right.
and until now.
So I was checking out your website and I noticed a few different titles of King's League. There was King's League Odyssey, as well as King's League Emblems, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. So what are the differences between those three games?
So the King's League is actually the very first game, and I create the game myself alone. So
Wow.
that's the very first Kurechii games that we create. So after that, as the team grow, we started to have the proper artists, proper programmers, and we started to make King's League Odyssey. And then you notice there's this King's League Odyssey and without the dir.
Yeah.
That's the moment where actually we moved the game to mobile platforms.
Yes.
And basically without the dir, the naming is better, easier to search and all that. And then later on, we actually go back to do the emblems.
Right.
Emblems is actually a expansion to King's League Odyssey because it's been quite a while before we know we're going to take quite a long time to create on the second one. So we work together with Armor's Game, and then we create this Flash version for our fans.
Alright, so pretty soon there is going to be a King's League 2, and not a lot is talked about King's League 2. So why don't you share with us a little bit about the game?
Maybe Jarek can share about this one.
So basically for this time we start to create content, like more story for the character themselves.
Right.
So there are more interactions between characters and also game features.
Right.
So it will be a lot more different from the previous King's League. Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? Instead of talking about the game, let's jump in and try out the demo.
Yeah, sure.
Alright guys, we're jumping into the game, and my first impression of the game is how different this game looks from the first game, especially the art style. Can you tell us a little bit about why the shift in art style?
So the art style is actually we wanted to make it we want to add personality to the game itself.
Right.
And this is also the first time we introduce characters, because all this while when we play King's League, right, it's always just like iceless, just small little characters running around.
That's right.
So we found that when players when they recognize game, right, usually they remember
Right.
the characters. So that's why we work together with Zyrex. So basically this art style is actually you go through a lot of try.
Right.
So maybe you can talk about like his process to finding these new art directions for the game.
Okay, so why don't we jump into the game? Do you want to try it first?
Yeah.
Okay, now that we're into the game, why don't you tell us a little bit more about the game?
So it's basically a journey of a very proud, ambitious young guy who is trying to redeem himself through a
Right.
journey of gaining trust from his friend. So basically, the starting will be Maxwell, the main character himself. He will be having a first challenge from the hooligans, which is a bad guy. So he will try to prove himself through the first battle, but actually he will be going through some problems, and then he realized that he lack of power and then he might need a team.
Right.
So and then after that, after this first battle, he will meet someone who can help him. So we'll see right after the battle.
Right, from what I see here is that you guys did maintain the little tiny characters,
Yes.
but you changed how you drew the artwork and as well as the coloring as well, which made it a lot more vibrant, colorful, as well as memorable.
Yeah. So I think King's League 2 is also mark of the progress of how Kurechii have changed
Right.
since the first game. So King's League 2 is actually it uses, I think, all our expertise. I would say is more towards like, okay, after so many years, let's try to do something
Right.
and to show our progress, how much we have grown from here. Yeah.
Right. So this is the mark of the change in Kurechii Games. So why don't you explain to us a little bit about the battle system here, how it's different from the first game?
So most of the players when they play King's League, right, they'll ask like, why can't I do anything in the battle?
Right.
King's League is a game that we wanted the player to be like a manager or like a king,
right,
where they don't really do a lot of micro control. So, but this time is actually we challenge ourselves like, how can we retain this kind of experience without having while player can do some input but not too much. So what we have is actually in one battle, player can actually use one skill and only one. So
okay. Why don't you show us?
Yes. So you need to choose between, like, let's say you have 3 characters, you can only choose one of them.
Yes.
So, and this one battle, one skill is usually allows the player to turn the tide.
Alright, got it. That's amazing. So basically, you only get one skill throughout the whole battle.
Like for example, just now we have Maxwell,
yes,
the warrior,
yes,
and also the archer.
Yes.
So in a normal battle, you need to think like which one do we want to use, because each of them they have unique skill.
Right.
And they have different abilities and different strength and weaknesses using those skills. Yeah.
All right. So, what happens next?
So what happened next is when Maxwell met this girl, who is called Talia.
Right,
so
Talia.
she will be the guide for him to actually gather his team and to prove his strength and to venture in the new journey of himself, to redeem himself.
Okay, so why don't you guys tell us a little bit about the features in King's League 2?
The features? Okay, so one thing is actually definitely because this game is the first time in the series that we have story. So we're actually trying to make it narrative is definitely one of the things. And from time to time, you are encouraging events like this where you have to make decisions. So like this one, you can decide to accept the Talia's help or not.
Okay.
So this is one of it. And now I will skip through the dialogue.
Yes.
And one of the basic features would be the recruit, because King's is about recruit, train, and battle.
Right.
So this one, you can actually go for the village, search for it.
So this looks similar to the first game, but yet the UI is very, very different.
Yes.
Would you say that the game mechanics are completely different, or you upgraded the mechanics?
So there are features that we upgraded it, and there are features that we actually try to keep it, because those that we think is good, and that's what the reason why players love King's League. We are trying to keep it, but we try to improve the experience in many ways. And one of it is definitely the characters, because this time we have story. So let me show you like this one.
Right.
This is the dialogue for the training.
Right.
So like Maxwell will have the favorite training.
Right.
Okay. So let's say I cancel the training and show you. Maxwell is a warrior.
Yes.
So warrior actually like gym and increase the strength and all that, but warrior don't like reading. So if you look at the animations and the dialogues, right?
Yeah.
The characters will actually fall asleep.
Oh,
so this is like we add on this personal touch to each of every single characters. Yeah.
But would they, if you say that like this, Maxwell falls asleep, would he still level up?
Yes, but it will actually use more energy. And energy is also the first, it's a new mechanic that we have over here. So you can still have him to read, but it will use more energy compared to other characters that maybe like magicians love reading, then you will use up less energy.
Alright, I also noticed that you guys have more different trainings as compared to before as well. Why don't you go through with us the trainings?
Okay, so this time we have recess. Recess is where you can regain your energy, because previously we don't have it. So gym is for the strength, dance. So most of this one is actually quite the same compared to previous, but you can see, but now we actually trying to readjust the stats and all that, like reading, swim, travel. And the advanced version we have combat, joust, debate, chess, wrestle, and so on. Yeah.
Alright, so another thing you mentioned just now, we can have events which we can make decisions. Would the decisions affect the ending of the game?
Basically, what you choose, the decision itself, it will affect your battle. So there will be like something like you want to take a rest for your team, or you have to proceed to the battle to face the boss. Yeah, so that is more like the battle experience will be different.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you say that you go to the boss battles, are the boss battles incredibly hard, or would they be different than just a normal battle in the game?
Okay, because this time we have skills, right? So
Yeah.
it become there's two things we want player to actually pick up from the boss battle. There's actually first is actually the unit combination.
Right.
Because King's League is a strategy games where you need to think like who stand in front, who stand behind. That's
Right.
first thing. The second is the right timing to use the skill to get advantage or to turn the difficulty that you are having in the battle.
Right, since you can only use one
One,
skill per battle, which means the boss fight we can only allow to use one skill as well.
Yes.
Whoa, that's actually tough. But would you say for beginners, would you say that the battles for the bosses or even toward the end are incredibly hard? Do they require a lot of thinking, a lot of strategizing, or would casuals be okay with playing this as well?
So I would say the casual will be able to play as well because how we do the strategy is actually we make it visually understandable.
Right.
If you notice your character is all pushing back and die, right? We are immediately think of like I need someone can stand in front. So that's where you know, oh, I might need a tanker. And there's one detail that we put in is all the units, right? We have their main primary weapon, put it in front. Like Knight, right, is a primary defensive characters. We have the shield, put it in front, and the sword behind.
Right.
So if a warrior and all that, we have the aggressive weapon, put it in front to show you. So we're trying to communicate the strategy through visual as well.
Interesting. All right, so when it comes to that, toward the end of the game, how many hours of playtime are we looking at here?
I would say the story part would take place about 6 hours.
6 hours.
Yes. So that's actually when you don't do a lot of trial out, experimenting and to read the upgrades. Because some people, like if you go to the upgrade trees, right, you can spend 30 minutes just read through all of them to think about it. Right? But because we have a lot of different upgrades in the game, but some people like randomly just choose it, then we'll spend less time.
I see. Also, could you tell us, other than the features in battle as well as the artwork, what other differences can you see between King's League as well as King's League 2?
So, I would say there's more towards the package.
Yeah.
Like that you're getting. So definitely you get more controls. Like this one, unit mentioned you can drag your characters. So if you have 5, right, it doesn't necessary for you to have the tanker to stand in front.
Right.
Because in previous King's League, we actually pre-arranged the formation.
Okay.
But this time, even if you want to have the magician stand up front,
Right.
it's doable as well. It could be one of the strategies.
All right, interesting. All right, so when it comes to that, could you share with us maybe an ETA or a release date of this game?
Maybe you can ask Zarex about this one because like there's a lot of art assets that we need to be done.
I mean, this will be the first time anyone has seen the demo of this game. This will be the first announcement for this game as well, officially. So,
I think probably October or November.
October or November. Those
I'm
are
not
the
sure.
dates to look out for.
We're still working very hard to
Yeah.
finish all the content. Yeah, we don't want to push it too fast because we really appreciate the efforts. Yeah.
All right, other than King's League 2, what other content are you guys working on right now at Kurechii Games?
So other than King's League 2,
Yes.
so we do have a game called Post Night.
Post
So
Night,
we
yes.
are still updating the games in terms of like we have a lot of plans for Post Night because it was released last year, and actually we have up to 8 million players up to date.
Right.
So it's definitely something that's worth expanding as well. But because it's a small team, so we have to keep a balance between finish up King's League 2 at the same time working on Post Night. So definitely Post Night is working on, but slow at a slower pace.
All right, so you guys, I'm really excited to hear and see this game soon. So you guys want more updates about the game, to find out more about Kurechii Games, follow them on their social media. Why don't you tell us your social media handles?
So it's Kurechii, so Kurechii.
Kurechii. So search for them on Facebook
Yes, or Twitter as well.
and Twitter as well. And that's all. Thank you guys so much for
Thank
stopping by
you.
our booth over here at Asia Comic Con 2018. So you guys, if you guys want more news, more stories, like games like Kurechii Games, as well as other games, follow us on c.ign.com. Bye guys. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you.